Hi everyone. You're probably wondering why I'm in the corridor, but I thought I might have a bit of a change of scene and make a little bit of an echo. And by the way, they're singing upstairs as well, so it's a bit tricky. Anyway, today's lesson, you're going to be starting another poem. The poem is called The Taper. Now again, you have to work out what the taper means. You're going to have to do a little bit of research. So today's lesson is not really about writing, it's more about research. So you're going to be looking at some vocabulary. You're going to read the poem and again you're going to perform it. Now what I would love again is for you to send in your performances, but equally please can you send in you performing your own poem that you wrote last week, because I was thinking what would be really nice is if we somehow sort of splice together your bits of poetry from home and our bits from here, and then we can make a class poem of everybody's work, which would be really great, and I'd love you to perform it for me. So send it in please. You performing your poem. You know, yesterday I showed you some of the poetry that we did here. You perform yours, send it in to me, and we'll see if we can somehow get it all together. Anyway, so this poem is called The Taper, and it's an old Japanese tale of an old hermit poet. Now again, you're going to have to work out what taper means, but basically it's the story of a person who was sitting and watching moths and insects near a flame and how they were all fluttering around the taper, around the flame. So what he did was he put it out and sat in the dark so that they didn't then lose their lives. So it's written in long rhymed sentences. So you've got things like taper and paper, night and light. But there's a lot of repetition of the letter F and the sound F. So you've got things like flickering, flapping, fluttering, flew, fire and suffer. And as you read it, you emphasise the F sound, and it also sounds a bit like the flame being snuffed out. So the lines of the poem are quite long. They make you think, they're meditative, they call it meditative, it's thinking about things until you get to stanza or verse 7. And then you suddenly get a shorter verse. And it changes the emphasis, and it changes the way the poem moves, I suppose you might call it. So it's like he suddenly wakes up and realises, instead of watching the moths and the insects be killed by the flame, he realises what he's got to do. So I'm going to let you read the poem, but what I want you to do today, use a dictionary, find out the meanings of the words taper, hermit, ponderous, dwindling, luminous, I think Rosie knows already, entices and entrance. You can listen to Tony Mitten, read it, okay? And then I want you to again perform your poem, because it's really important that poetry is read out loud. It's not just for writing to listen to, you know, in your head. It's really a performance. So that's what we're hoping for. And if you could, and only if, you could do it by candlelight, as long as someone's there to help you. I know it's a big ask, but if you have a candle, you could sit with your candle next to you and read the poem out. That would be superb. So I hope you enjoyed the poem. Do your bit of research, find out what these words mean, listen to Tony Mitten do it, and then perform your own poem. And then tomorrow we will go on to thinking more about the poem and what it's about. But have a good day, enjoy it, and find an interesting space to read out your poem like I have, this dark and dingy corridor. Bye.